Hey my friend, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the elephant in the room, that is AMD shooting up like a rocket. Now first off, looking at the portfolio year to date, wow, 86%, 86.9, almost 87% up. That is unbelievable. 1 year, 119% gain the past year. That is absolutely insane. The market's been really good. This last year, but the market's, year to date, let's check it. S&P, SPY, 12%, 15% up in 1 year. Let's take a look at QQQ. So let's take a look here. Yeah, 1 year, 22%. So yeah, the market's been really good, but not 120% in a year good. So we are outperforming the market big time. Very, very, very blessed. And with that being said, got to keep the emotions in check. As we move forward, right? So one more thing before we get started. I just want to invite you to join the Options Hero community, which is absolutely free. Link in the pinned comment. A lot of really good investors there, traders, option sellers. It's a good time over there, and would love to see you there. Absolutely free. Right now we have about 80 members, and it is growing strong. We are forming a really good community, and it's a good time. So yeah, pinned comment, and we'd love to see you there. Okay, let's get started. So now, let's take a look at AMD. AMD shot up like a rocket since I last posted, and I have a couple covered calls on AMD. So we're going to look at that. Now this AMD is pulling back a bit today. Sorry. AMD is pulling back. It went from, right around 233, 234 to right now it's 219. I was very, very, very tempted to buy some leaps as it dropped to 215, and I was setting up my recording, and then it popped from 215 to 219, so that would have been a good play. But I have so much exposure to AMD for my portfolio size, it's a little too much. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's about almost half my portfolio is AMD, so I'm actually okay if I have to let some shares go. If I have to, that's fine. But what I did was something, the way I'm managing this trade is something I like to call monkey barring. Basically, I had really just my 200 shares of AMD that I sold covered calls on, and I have the 185 strike. Originally, I had 180 strike. I rolled it to 185, expiring October 31st. Where do we see that? October 31st, 185. Now on this dip, I'm going to look to try and roll again. Let's see if we can roll this to capture a little bit more upside. But the monkey barring, what I did was right around 212 to 220 range, I bought about 100 more shares actually. So before, I only had the covered call, 2 of them, and that was all the exposure I had to AMD. Now I have 100 extra shares that have no covered calls, nothing. If the stock shoots up to 300 and I lose my shares at 185, let's say, I feel way better now because now I have long-term upside exposure. So that's what I call monkey barring. It's just straight up, at least buying shares. I bought around 212 to 220. And yeah, I have 100 shares that are not tied to any options right now. So that is perfect. That actually makes me now sleep better at night. Another thing is, because I have a $185 call, and then because the stock price went down closer to 185 from about 230, 235 or so, basically the effect it has on my portfolio is like less volatility, because the reason my stock portfolio went down from 104 to about 102 something is because I'm holding the shares and it's going down. But because I have the 185 call, that's actually good for the call side, for me selling the call, the 185 call. So this actually gave me a good opportunity now to look at rolling again. So let's take a look here. Now if I have $185 strike, okay, I'm gonna slow down. Got a little excited, feel like I'm talking pretty fast, just had my coffee. I have a $185 strike on AMD, covered call, expiry date October 31st. We're gonna look at rolling. Right now I would have to pay $3,700 to close, and rolling is basically opening a new position at another date. So here would be the 7th. And what I want to do, let's take a look here at a few different scenarios, okay? So if I roll to the 190, essentially what's happening is I would get more upside exposure from the 185. Instead of being forced to sell it at 185, I would potentially be forced to sell at 190, which would give me $500 more of upside exposure for the 100 shares on that contract. But I would have to pay for 2 contracts. For 1 contract, it would be $200. So essentially, let me break this down. So net debit, I would have to pay $200 to get $500 more of upside, and I would be rolling it an extra week because my contract expires October 31st. So that's for 1 week. Keep those numbers in your head, or just pause the video or replay it or whatever. $200 for $500 of upside. Or here, if I go to 195, here for that 7 days, I would have to pay $3,700 and then get paid $31. So the difference is the $587. So essentially, I'm paying almost $600 to get 1,000. So what's better, paying $600 to get 1,000 more of upside, or paying $200 to get $500? So 6 to get 1,000, $400 profit difference, or paying 2 to get 5, it's about 3. Okay, so what I'm going to look at, they're roughly the same, little different. Let's see if I extend it out a little further to the 21st. Let's see, if I do, now this is interesting. If I do the 185 close at 3,800 and I roll it to 200, I have to pay $700, but I get $1,500 more of upside. So that's about, we get about $800 more dollars, $800 of profit per contract. So I would have to pay $1,400 for 2 contracts, and $1,400 for 2 contracts, and I get $3,000 of upside, essentially, if the stock stays above 200. Pay $1,400. Or, so if I don't want to pay $1,400 and I extend it to the 21st, 190. If I did this, this would be basically even. I would basically get $500 for just extending the time, only pay $12. If I did this one, 195, I have to pay $350 per contract and get 1,000 of upside. So between the 195 and 200, I want more exposure to AMD, and I want to try to not pay so much. So here, let's take a look at 195. Okay, so I'm going to do that for 2 contracts. Pay $720, get 2,000 more, and I'm extending it from October 31st to the 21st. So I'd rather pay less in this scenario. Let's see what happens now. The fun part. 350. 350. Let's see if that fills. 65. Oh. Okay, let's replace, continue. Sometimes this happens. 195. $355. Okay, let's see. Okay, got filled. Perfect. So I rolled it from October 31st to November 21st. I essentially locked in, I had to pay $700 debit-ish, and now I have AMD 195 call. All right. So yeah, that was a pretty successful roll, and that was really only possible right now because we dipped today on AMD. So that was a really good opportunity. And like I said, we have the monkey bar strategy. Basically, I just bought 100 shares right around 212 to 220 that I'm just holding free and clear just in case the covered calls get too far away and I have to let them go. But right now, yeah, I have a bit too much exposure to AMD that I would really generally feel comfortable with. But that's okay for now. So for now, we'll just keep what we got of AMD, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Cool. That's basically how I manage the AMD position. We're going to keep looking into AMD news. Anything that happens, we'll be keeping a very close eye on. But yeah, I mean, I'm very, very happy with the AMD exposure. It's a little more than I would really want from a risk management point of view. So I'm going to look at seeing what I can do. You know, maybe November time, maybe we end up, letting some shares go around. Yeah. Sorry about that. Maybe we end up letting some shares go around 195, but at least I have those 100 shares that I just bought that I can ride it to infinity, Maybe, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Things change. But yeah, in this market, it's important not to get too greedy because as we get more and more bullish, it's just making me a little bit more uneasy. So yeah, don't be afraid to, take some profits. Yeah. Anyway, so feel free to hit the link in the pinned comment to join the Options Hero community. It's a good time over there. And we do live trading calls now every Monday and Friday. And it is a good time. Okay. Well, thank you. And I hope you got some value. And we'll see you in the next video.